Last week we talked about the Commie, and this week it's all about the Senile. That's right, Joe Biden. I'm Katie Petrick, and this is Healthy Republic. Out with the old and in with the still old. Just a few days until the Iowa caucus, and the desperation in gold bond is ripe. The question of the week is, who will win Iowa? Make your predictions in the comments section. As of right now, it seems old Joe and old Bernie are duking it out. And by duking it out, I simply mean bumbling and fumbling through speeches before and after they take their daily naps. Or tweeting out eye-rolling assertions. Let's be clear. Transgender equality is a civil rights issue of our time. There is no room for compromise when it comes to basic human rights. Oh, good grief. I also like how Joe has put the text number in his profile name. I can only imagine why he had to do that.
If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you very much.
Yes, Joe, go to a phone number. Biden is making a last-ditch effort this week to surge ahead of Bernie and the rest of the sad sack candidates who, according to a Monmouth University poll, all have a shot. The Chutes and Ladders Board of Democratic Preference shows it's anyone's game to lose. At 538, Nate Silver put Sanders at a 37% chance of winning, followed by Biden at 35%. Again, basically, he's calling it anyone's game. Meanwhile, in the Iowa State University Civics poll, Joe is in fourth place with just 15%. With a first-time lead in that poll at 24%, Bernie is flying high. Then again, it may be the scent of his very own perfume causing that level of intoxication. Look out, fragrance industry. There's a new stench in town. Bernie, the people's perfume.
Medicare for all. Quite sexy.
Introducing Bernie, the people's perfume.
That is an actual advertisement made by a Bernie supporter as a labor of love to show the world that women, and not just the Bernie bros, support him. The perfume is called The Scent of Not Me, Us. Now that makes sense. Much like Bernie, this perfume will just try to cover what's wrong, but do nothing to actually change it. I just want to know if this perfume is free, because a good commie will not support a capitalistic endeavor. Speaking of capitalism and the good economy we are currently experiencing, old Joe Biden can't even. At a Council Bluffs, Iowa event, Joe was given a lifeline by a voter to simply admit that President Trump has done one thing good for this country. And he couldn't. Not even one.
Unemployment is good now.
Yeah, unemployment's good, but wages are down. They're dead.
Come on, accept the good. You say there's no good on the other side?
I didn't say that. I said...
Okay, name one thing that's good from the other side.
From him right now, I can't think of
I'm sorry, there's a lot of people here.
Biden desperately tried to get away from that voter, but his old knees weren't fast enough. For all of the gaffes that Biden has made this week alone, it is clear he has not come to his senses. If he had, he wouldn't have said this.
Well, I sure would like Michelle to be the vice president.
Michelle must be one of those 8 women, and at least 4 or 5 people of color, Joe says he knows of, who are qualified to be vice president.
I can think of at least 8 women, at least 4 or 5 people of color that I think are totally qualified to be vice president of the United States. But for me, it has to be demonstrated that whoever I pick is 2 things. One, is capable of immediately being president, because I'm an old guy. Okay? No, but I'm serious. Look, thank God, I'm in great health. I work out. No, I'm serious. I work out every morning. I'm in good shape. Knock on wood, as my mother would say.
Knock on wood, Joe knows where he is right now. Joe, over here, in America. I bet Joe couldn't find Ukraine on a map.
That Donald Trump couldn't find Ukraine on a map if you had the letter U and a picture of an actual physical crane next to it.
That was Don Lemonhead and his panel of misfits about to tell us that we, middle American voters, are the dumb ones. Basically, if you think our president has done anything positive for our country, even one thing, you're an idiot in their eyes. Let's watch the Stooges as they mock most of the country.
He knows that this is, an administration defined by ignorance of the world. And so that's partly him playing to their base and playing to their audience, the credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump, that wants to think that Donald Trump's a smart one and y'all elitists are dumb.
You elitists with your geography and your maps and your spelling, even though
your math and your reading.
Yeah, you're reading, your geography, knowing other countries, sipping your latte.
All those lines on the map.
Only them elitists know where Ukraine is.
That's Ukraine, capital Kiev. It's located west of Russia, which used to be the communist Soviet Union that ruled the Ukrainian people until they rose up and declared independence in 1991. Go ahead and ask Hunter Biden. He knows all about Ukraine. Who's the dummy now, you jackwagons?
I don't believe in belittling people, belittling anyone for who they are, for what they believe, or where they're from. During an interview on Saturday night, one of my guests said something that made me laugh. And while in the moment, I found that joke humorous. And I didn't catch everything that was said. Just to make this perfectly clear, I was laughing at the joke and not at any group of people.
Audience, feel free to remember this moment while in the voting booth. If us dummies can find it. Now back to Joe B.
I think it's going to be really close, George. It's neck and neck. Bernie's up, I'm up. There's basically a statistical tie. And George, this situation better than anybody. If there's a big snowstorm in certain parts of the country, in certain part of the states, it could have an effect.
Biden is trying desperately to make sure he is not the grand loser in Iowa, because the one thing he does know is that if Sanders takes Iowa, he already has New Hampshire locked, and then the momentum is in his favor going into South Carolina and Nevada. Joe will be sputtering, even more than he is right now.
Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay.
Just calm down, Desperado. And you hold tight, team. Someday the pain will end. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but sooner or later, Senile Joe will go away. Just let Hillary Clinton take care of it. Until next time, stay healthy, America.
Coming the week of 2/2/2020, just in time for the election season.
It's here! It's finally here!
Twice the fun.
Oh, my precious. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Twice the dumb. And all of the common sense.
This is not difficult. It's really not. I'm just going to speak the common sense truth as I always do. Take it and or leave it. Science tells us that boys and girls are not the same. But men don't get periods.
With the new show dropping every Wednesday and Friday, get ready.
I'm Katie Petrick, and this is Healthy Republic.